violence or no other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo!
Whoa. Ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit on.
That's that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
A well-known Detroit area radio reporter is dead this morning, and his 2 children are injured after a chaotic crime scene at his home. Police say they found a 35-year-old woman and a 5-year-old girl stabbed and injured outside a condo in Chesterfield, Michigan. Inside the condo, they found the body of 57-year-old Jim Matthews and a 10-year-old boy who'd been badly beaten. Investigators say the suspected killer was still in the house, but had overdosed and was suffering from self-inflicted wounds.
He was welcomed into the home initially. From that point, it's still too early to really go into what happened.
Oh my gosh. Neighbors say the suspect lived across the street. Matthews had just worked the overnight anchor shift at Detroit's WWJ.
A terrible attack in Chesterfield Township, and tonight we are learning WWJ overnight news anchor Jim Matthews was the man killed. His family also injured, including his 2 children, ages 10 and 5.
Chesterfield.
So this could have easily been that 95-year-old woman, but instead it is a older glider male. Now, I made the video, super gremlins are hunting white women in New Orleans, and I got some pushback. I got some flack for that. But would it be safe to say that super gremlins were hunting everybody? So that statement is not even invalid. As a matter of fact, I might name this video, Super Gremlins Are Hunting White Men and their families, because this is what's going down right now. Would I be wrong in that assessment? No.
Township police said the man who killed Matthews and injured his family tried to kill himself, but was not successful. Mara McDonald live in Chesterfield tonight. Mara, you just spoke with Matthews' family.
I sure did, Devin. I spoke with his brother, Joe, who says tonight if everybody could do just one thing, which would be pray for Jim's 2 small children. You can see behind me, police are still processing the condo, which is the crime scene here, and what those two children had to endure in here can only be described as a nightmare. Jim Matthews spent years on WWJ as their solid, dependable overnight news anchor. Matthews was his on-air name. His legal name was Jim Nikolai. And we spoke to his brother Joe this evening about his brother's pride in working at J Radio.
He was so excited when he got that. I was so happy for him when he got into WWJ. Since he was a little kid, he's wanted to be a DJ.
Colleagues describe him as an absolute professional. He lived here at this Chesterfield Township condo with the 35-year-old mother of their two children, a 10-year-old boy and 5-year-old girl. When police arrived on the scene, it was that 35-year-old and the daughter who had run into the parking lot looking for help.
A 35-year-old white female had escaped with her 5-year-old daughter. She was suffering from stab wounds at that time.
The 5-year-old was also injured. When police got inside, they found Nikolai had been killed, his 10-year-old son in a closet.
We also found a 10-year-old white male bound and suffering from blunt force trauma.
Sources say that little boy was beaten with a hammer and left for dead in that closet.
Wow. Beating a little boy with a hammer. And you know, a lot of hype and hoopla is coming out surrounding the Dahmer series, the Netflix original series about Jeffrey Dahmer. But I mean, I would make the argument that although this is very different, a lot of these super gremlins don't get the opportunity to become something like that because they're just not good at getting away with their crimes. Or if they are, they're really on a crash out mentality. They're not doing these things methodical. But if this guy would have deleted this whole family like he wanted to, then he could have been on the same type of wave.
They say he fought back against the man police say is responsible for it all, a 54-year-old friend of the family who tried to kill himself by taking an overdose after the attack.
54-year-old friend of the family. Man, this is bad because they let this super gremlin in. He's an OG, an older super gremlin, and this is how he repaid them. And I'm sure they did everything in their power to contribute their part to, maybe it wasn't financial reparations, but just being very nice and kind and courteous and catering to this OG brother who appears to not be able to have his life together even by the time he's in his early 50s.
Pray for his children. His children are the ones that need the prayers and support.
Back here live tonight, those two children, 10 and 5, and their mother are all being treated for their injuries at a local hospital. That little boy's injuries are critical at this point. As far as the motivation for all of this, Chesterfield Township Police at this point merely classifying it as a domestic issue. We're live in Chesterfield Township tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Just horrendous, Mara. Our thoughts with the family and, of course, with our colleagues over at WWJ as well.
I mean, I don't know how people can do stuff like that.
It's been a roller coaster of a day for residents near this Chesterfield condo complex. From the shock of hearing police sirens to the horror in hearing the details of what took place.
Our investigation has determined that this is an isolated tragedy that does not present a danger to our community at this time.
According to Chesterfield police, around noon, someone driving by found...
But see, that's not accurate either, because every day these reoffending super gremlins on demon time are being let out because of criminal justice reform and bail reform and all these measures that cater to the criminals. Every day, they're putting the community at risk and other communities at risk because these people are not being held accountable for their actions. And then they're going out and doing things like this and we wonder why.
Found a 35-year-old woman and her 5-year-old daughter who escaped from this condo building. The woman had been stabbed and both were injured. Police then forced their way inside where they found the 57-year-old father dead. An injured 10-year-old boy was bound and beaten in a closet, and in the basement, the alleged suspect who was overdosing and had self-inflicted wounds.
It's terrible. I mean, he's the same age as my grandson, so, you know, it makes you think.
Soon after, WWJ Radio identified the man killed as their overnight anchor, Jim Matthews. He was the children's father and returned home after going off the air at 5 a.m. In a statement, the station said in part, "There have been many tears shed in our newsroom today, and Jim will be greatly missed. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Jim's family and friends during this difficult time."
He just seemed like a reserved man, very quiet and kind of shy. And, but he seemed to really like his kids.
Neighbors say the suspect lived across the street and was often seen with the woman. Police also say he was at the home frequently. His exact relation is still unknown.
He was welcomed into the home initially. From that point, it's still too early to really go into what.
Wow, man. I mean, these dudes are so deceptive too. They can put on a front that they're a decent guy. Obviously, people are going to say he was struggling with mental health issues and all that kind of stuff to give him an out. But this dude is a monster. And there are way too many of these super gremlins on demon time walking around in our society.
The suspect and the 5-year-old girl are in stable condition, but the mother and 10-year-old boy are still critical as police continue to piece together this chaotic and horrific tragedy.
The Chesterfield Public Safety Department will not rest until we have received justice for our victims.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
Thank you so much for joining us at 11. I'm Amira David.
And I'm Mike Duffy. Tonight, support pouring in for a Macomb County family.
They were brutally attacked by a man at their Chesterfield Township home on Friday. WWJ radio anchor Jim Matthews found dead. His 2 children are among the victims.
Now, family members have started a GoFundMe page to help with their long road to recovery. 7 Action News reporter Sarah Grummer spoke with the kids' grandmother and has an update on their conditions.
There's been a lot of concern coming from the Metro Detroit community about these 2 kids. Is there anything that you can tell people about how they are?
My granddaughter and her mother, they're both in stable condition, thank the Lord. My grandson, he is still in ICU and in critical condition.
Days after WWJ anchor Jim Matthews was attacked and murdered inside of this family condo, the family grandmother, Sonia Healy, tells me that the mother and children, all horrifically assaulted, remain in the hospital.
Man. A super gremlin who would do this to children, man. The evil that is being unchecked, that is being excused. It's ridiculous.
The 10-year-old son who allegedly tried to protect his father is sedated after being brutally beaten. This GoFundMe, created by one of Sonia's daughters, the children's Aunt Ashley, says the young boy has undergone brain and ear surgery.
I'm sure he probably did all he could to try to protect his father that he adored. Him and his father were very, very close.
Sonia tells me that her daughter Ashley, who started the GoFundMe, is watching over the kids for the time being, but She doesn't have any clothes or toys, and the home where the kids lived is now considered a crime scene, so family can't go in there to get their things.
As they have nothing right now, absolutely nothing.
And this super gremlin just turned their life upside down. And they still have not showed us a picture, given us a description. It's tragic.
They plan on doing a savings account and just use that money for anything that the children need.
On the GoFundMe, Aunt Ashley describes what these kids endured as a vicious and needless attack. Family says they'll need lifelong help to adapt and recover. They also say, thank you to all of you at home who have pulled together in the last couple of days to help them.
I think it is amazing to see how many people are coming together, hoping to help you guys and sending their love to you. Is there anything else that you want those people to know?
Keep up with the prayers. The amount of prayers that I've been getting from even strangers has been astronomical. Please just keep up with the prayers.
Family tells me more scary details about
She called.
What these kids had to endure that police will likely confirm in the next coming weeks.
And we're going to keep up with this because we want to know all the details of what this sick, demented, super OG gremlin on Demon Time did to this father and his family.
In the meantime, if you would like to help out these kids, the link to this GoFundMe can be found with this article on WXYZ.com. Reporting in Southfield, Sarah Grimmer, 7 Action News.
What's
It's
good,
just
Shadow
so
Realm?
incredibly.
It's your boy Janquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on Demon Time.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's a Black Gen Z mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video. All right, man. We have a live ass story today, but we're going to be bouncing around the states until we get back to Atlanta. And like the story that you guys just saw, hopefully you guys have seen that video before and go into my archives and check out the remainder of that video. But it's a really good video. It shows the issues with white liberals and the relationship with super gremlins. So you guys can go check that out for more context. But the story that I want to bring to you guys today is out of Detroit as well. Okay. So this one is, wow. I mean, it's pretty crazy, but it is also a cross-racial murder. Obviously, what appears to be a sun glider gremlin is being charged in the killing of a Jewish synagogue leader. So, a lot of people say, oh, well, Jewish people aren't white. Okay, well, I'll just tell you this right here. When you look at them, they pretty much look white. I'm not saying they are white. I'm just saying they look white. And that's how a lot of black men, women, etc. interpret them to be. So no disrespect to the Jewish community, but that's just a reality. But we have this brother, light-skinned brother, who comes in and deletes this woman. So it's a wild story. We're going to get right into it. How are you guys doing today? Right? Hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal, hit the GoFundMe. because ain't nobody covering these stories like I am. In this story, I haven't seen anybody cover, really. Maybe Ock covers it because he covers everything, but I haven't seen anybody cover this particular story. So, you know, I want to break down what happened, okay, and kind of get some context for this murder that occurred, because I literally have not heard anything about it. So let's see. All right. Let's pull up this story. It's all right. Sorry, let me just get the first one that I want to pull up. Okay, cool. Let's see. All right, so we're going to start off and kind of get an idea of what actually happened. This woman was a prominent Jewish leader in the Metro Detroit area. She was found dead with stab wounds outside of her residence, and the timelines, we might be jumping around a little bit just because I wasn't able to I wasn't able to kind of put everything together, but I'm going to give you guys as much context, and we're going to dig deeply into this story. So this story is about a Jewish woman named Samantha Wohl, and it gets pretty deep. So let's listen up.
Detroit police that they are transparent with.
2 months after she was found stabbed to death outside her Detroit home, a new person of interest in the Samantha Wohl murder case in police custody.
Well, we're hoping this time is different than the last time that they've announced an arrest. We're optimistic that hopefully something will come of this.
That person was never charged and subsequently released from police custody.
So they had somebody in custody. The individual was never charged, but they ended up coming to a conclusion of who did it, and we're going to get into that as well. So it's a pretty deep story.
Investigators confirming this latest arrest, but not releasing any details at this time.
We are hoping from the Detroit police that they are transparent with what they are finding, as to not leave us on edge and not leave us in the dark. Again, of course, without compromising their investigation. But we truly value communication, especially in such a tough instance as this one.
Wohl was a prominent Jewish leader in Detroit, also very active in politics. She was beloved by many. Those who knew her say she just wanted to make the world a better place.
We all are thinking of Sam every single day, the last conversations that we had with her, and really allowing those conversations, those last moments that we were able to celebrate with Sam, really pushing that into today. And that's really what's carrying us into the future.
So as you guys can see, had a lot of people who cared about her. So let's get into what actually happened. And guys, make sure you hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App, Super Trap, GoFundMe, Patreon. Follow me on Rumble because I'm not sure how long I'll be on YouTube. Guys, I will not be able to receive Super Chats for the foreseeable future because I am demonetized on YouTube. So I'm demonetized and shadow banned. So, if you guys could support and keep this train going, then I would greatly appreciate it.
We're learning much more tonight about the killing of a Detroit synagogue leader who was found stabbed to death outside her home on Saturday. Jesse Kirsch has late details.
After well-known Detroit Jewish leader Samantha Wohl was stabbed to death, tonight police still have not announced any arrest. For now, investigators considering multiple persons of interest.
We are just short of calling one of the people a suspect.
The 40-year-old's sudden death sparked fears of a potential hate crime, but police do not believe anti-Semitism was the motive.
So a lot of people were feeling like it was a hate crime just because, we've had a lot of things going on. The October 7th attack, the increase in pro-Hamas protests, if you will. And things like this have created a lot of tension between other communities and the Jewish community, because people are feeling like Israel is taking the colonizer role. And obviously, because they appear to be white, Black people, like I said, that's how we're interpreting it. So, you know, it's really like white against Black again. Not saying that the Palestinian people are Black, but that is the role that Black people have put them in. And that is why you see the Black community rallying around, you know, the pro-Palestinian movement and all that stuff, because our community, or our communità, is looking at it as if, okay, these are colonizers who have come in and taken over somebody else's land. So that's why you have so much pro-Hamas, pro-Palestine support from the Black communità, because quite frankly, I think we're just completely confused about what's actually going on over there. And, you know, the easiest side to pick is the side that the leftists are telling us to pick. So, you know, it's absolutely ridiculous. And I really don't like seeing these people going out and protesting for Hamas. But this is something that, you know, socially is a big issue right now. And it kind of is what it is.
We're not ruling out anything. We're going to go where the information and the evidence takes us. And right now, the evidence does not take us there.
Investigators say early Saturday, Wall was found dead near her home, stabbed multiple times just hours after she left a wedding around 12:30 a.m.
We've heard. Wow. So she just leaves a wedding, you know, a beautiful ceremony for all intents and purposes. And she returns home only to be killed by a super sun gliding gremlin on demon time.
From sources that she did not have any defensive wounds. Did she leave this wedding alone?
Yeah, I can't get into that. And your sources, you know, I'm not going to confirm or deny that at this time.
So they're saying she didn't have defensive wounds. They're asking if she left the wedding alone. Could she have brought this super gremlin to the wedding? Could she have been in some type of situationship with him and didn't want to go to the wedding alone? I mean, it is possible. I'm not saying that that's what happened, but it would be a damn shame.
Time.
At the crime scene, authorities say they found a trail of blood leading to Wall's home, where they believe she was attacked. Investigators adding there were no signs of forced entry. Wall's alleged murder leaving friends and family grief-stricken, mourning the synagogue president who wanted to bring people together in divisive times.
It seems like we need her now more than we ever did.
Yeah.
How do you make sense of that?
I don't. There's nothing about this loss that makes sense.
Jesse joining us now. Did authorities give any indication about a motive?
Investigators have not publicly shared any motive so far, but police stress they do not believe that anyone else is at risk.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You know, people are saying, oh, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It really does when you look at what's going on in these cities. Now, as far as her being a victim, that may not make sense to you, but the randomization of these different killings, that makes sense. You know, it's really a numbers game and an odds game until this issue is sewed up. And it doesn't look like these different cities are going to find solutions to slow the violence down anytime soon. So it actually does make sense that random people are being murdered by these super gremlins on demon time.
Her funeral on Sunday again and again, Samantha Wall was remembered as one of Detroit's brightest lights.
So deeply wanted peace for this world. You fought for everyone, regardless of who they were or where they came from.
Police say the well-known community leader was found near her home early Saturday, repeatedly stabbed and killed.
Just shocked that anybody could do anything so cruel to one of the kindest human beings on the planet.
So far, authorities have not announced a motive in the Jewish leader's alleged murder. But as the Israel-Hamas war weighs heavily on so many Americans, Detroit's police chief emphasizing no evidence has surfaced suggesting that this crime was motivated by anti-Semitism.
What kind of stress does something like this and the possibility of what's out there put on the Jewish community in these times?
I think it's unfortunate that we're living in a world where we have to make the connection, or not have to make, but so many of us go there to make the connection to an anti-Semitic hate crime.
Multiple law enforcement officials briefed on the investigation tell NBC News there was no sign of forced entry or defensive wounds. Sources also say investigators found a large Israeli flag that appeared to be untouched. Still, authorities across the country are increasingly concerned about it.
Yeah, and you know, I don't think it had any. Guys, can you hear me? Yep, hold up. Can y'all hear me now? Okay, yeah, sorry. I accidentally kicked the damn outlet. Let's see. Let me try and put the mic back on. My bad. Damn, kick the mic. Hold up. Link. All right, cool. I kicked the extension cord. My bad. So we disconnected for a second. All right, we're back in here. My bad. So, yeah, I don't think it had anything to do with the terrorist attack. I genuinely don't think that we as a community, now I'm not saying there aren't individual Black people who are caught up and abreast to the situation that's going on in Gaza, but I don't think as a community that we really are that engulfed in this issue. I think that maybe she had some type of prior relationship that made her feel open to having this guy in her crib. Who knows? Like I said, could be a situationship. But, I mean, it's sad all in all.
Attacks on Jewish Americans, Arab Americans, and Muslim Americans. In Minneapolis, police say witnesses reported someone drove a vehicle through a pro-Palestinian demonstration Sunday, though there were no reported injuries. Outside Chicago late yesterday, with pro-Israel and pro-Palestinian groups gathering, police say someone nearby fired a gun in the air before being arrested. And in New York, some at a pro-Palestinian demonstration on Saturday clashed with police.
The divisive moment we're going through right now makes Wall's death all the more heartbreaking because she has been described as someone who worked to bring different faith groups together.
And you know, it's so interesting how they're trying to make a link between, you know, the terrorist attack on October 7th and this murder. But when it comes to these regular crimes, they oh, well, we don't want to assume what happened. You know, the media, they have a part to play in all of this as well, as we all know. And I think it's important to acknowledge that.
Together. Hoda.
All right, Jesse Kirsch for us there in Detroit. Jesse, thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching.
All right, so let's get into how the investigation is going and how they were able to identify certain suspects.
There is shock and sadness tonight over the violent killing of Samantha Wool, a prominent figure in the Metro Detroit Jewish community who was known for promoting understanding between different faiths. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Pamela Osborne.
And I'm Will Jones. Detroit police say Samantha Wool was stabbed to death. She was found unresponsive this morning outside her townhome in the Lafayette Park neighborhood. Investigators spent most of the day there collecting evidence.
Wool spent much of her time just a few blocks away at the Isaac A. Gree Downtown Synagogue in Detroit. That's where we find Jacqueline Francis with more on Samantha's life and the unanswered questions in her death. Jacqueline.
That's right. We're here at Downtown Synagogue where Samantha Wool served as board president. At this hour, there's an extensive investigation into her death conducted by Detroit police with the assistance of the FBI and Michigan State Police. As for what the motive is, it's still unclear. Detroit Police Chief James White putting out a message tonight asking for patience, not wanting anyone to jump to conclusions. She was a pillar of Detroit's Jewish community, killed in a brutal stabbing attack outside her home.
They have a tradition in Judaism, in Hebrew, tikkun olam, repairing the world. And Samantha lived out that value, whether it be on our board at JCRC, AJC, or in her political involvement, or as president of the Downtown Synagogue. She truly wanted better for the world, and she carried that out every single day.
Saturday morning, Samantha Wool was found stabbed to death outside her home in Lafayette Park. Officers say they found a trail of blood leading them to her residence, which is where they believe she was killed. The FBI was on scene saying its Detroit office is assisting at the request of police. There was also a police presence Saturday outside the Isaac Gree Downtown Synagogue where Samantha served as board president. Here she is speaking at the synagogue's reopening following renovations in August. Among those mourning her death, Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel posting this photo to social media, writing, "I'm shocked and saddened to learn of Sam's brutal murder." A sentiment felt by many as they wait for answers.
The investigation will play out, and we're watching just like everyone else. But today, and everyone that I've talked to today is focusing on how amazing Sam was as a person.
And look, man, we as a community, we're destroying ties with every single group and demographic. We're breaking ties, breaking loyalty, breaking alliances, because whether you guys like it or not, we're going to need somebody on our side when this shit hits the fan. And it has not hit the fan yet. Okay? This is only the beginning. Like I said, we have most likely 2 to 3 more decades of this type of stuff. Shit has not hit the fan. And we're going to need some people on our side. We're going to need some advocates, you know. But it just looks like we're not interested in making allies as a whole. Not on an individual basis, but as a group, we're not looking to make allies, because in these situations, what did I say? Group accountability. We need to speak up. We denounce this, all that kind of stuff, right? We're not doing that as a community. Okay? We're not doing that. And we are discarding the communities that essentially have stuck their neck out for us. All right? And that's the reality. You know, we get a lot of memes about the Jewish and black relationship and all this kind of stuff. And Kanye did a lot to harm and tarnish that relationship. But I think it was, you know, understood that he was an outlier, and that relationship ended up mending. And then also the Hebrew Israelites do a really bad job at, you know, keeping that relationship intact. But, you know, after this, and maybe after a few other series of murders, we're not going to have any real allies. Okay? So we need to really come out as a group and speak up about this stuff.
We've heard from so many elected officials today putting out statements of condolence, including Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who says she has been briefed on the case. We do expect to get an update on the investigation tomorrow by Detroit police. Reporting live downtown, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
All right, Jacqueline, thank you.
Shout out to D. Scott with the $4 PayPal. He says, you're absolutely correct, young brother. The horrible behavior must be denounced.
Hold on. Hello? Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!
Yes, sir. Appreciate that, D. Scott. And you're right. It does need to be denounced because there are just not enough people in the Black community speaking out against this violence. There really isn't. Okay.
Samantha Wool worked as a staffer for Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin, the Congresswoman saying she's heartbroken over the loss of Wool.
In a statement on social media, Slotkin said Sam dedicated her short life to building understanding across faiths, bringing light in the face of darkness. My heart aches that we have lost someone so dedicated to serving others in such a senseless act. I'll miss her relentless desire to serve and her bright smile seemingly everywhere across the Detroit area.
And this from Michigan's Council on American Islamic Relations, or CARE. Executive Director Dawood Walid saying, we are troubled by the horrific murder of Samantha Wool, a beloved leader within our faith community in Metro Detroit. We also send our sincere condolences to her family and friends and to the Detroit Jewish community as a whole for this tragic loss.
So there you have it, guys. Really sick stuff going on out here in the community, and we're not getting enough recognition on these things. We're not getting enough people speaking up about these things. In turn, it's going to be a really bad situation for the future. But let's get to the bottom of this Samantha Wool case, because things are starting to brighten up and we're starting to really see what actually happened, why this happened, who done it, and all that kind of stuff.
Are close to here with Detroit police say they are close to zeroing in on a suspect in connection to Samantha Wool's death. They say that suspect was not motivated by anti-Semitism, but something else they're not quite ready to reveal.
Someone that young, could be horribly killed in that fashion.
Just a couple doors down from the Scotts, they've lived in the Joliet townhomes downtown Detroit for 30 years. Samantha Wool lived here about a year until she was murdered.
Sad that society's reached a point, there's so much hatred, so much anger that's going on that people resort to this kind of violence.
Her lifeless body discovered last Saturday morning.
And, I'm not going to lie. The old heads in the community have a lot of accountability to take on this one. They really do. Because I think they got recognition of the problem years ago. They stayed silent. They stayed silent. They said it was a product of white supremacy. They said that, brothers and sisters were being discriminated against if they were, held accountable for these actions. They got the church together and went against some of the policies that we really needed in the community to, hone in on this violence. So they have a lot of accountability to take, and we're divvying out accountability everywhere in the community when it comes to this issue, because like I said, group accountability, that's what needs to happen. Group accountability, group acknowledgement, and then a group effort to present solutions. And I think the main solution that should be presented is, we need to make sure that if somebody is doing a violent offense, that they're held accountable to the fullest extent and not given a slap on the wrist.
The end of a blood trail.
What we believe to have happened is after she was attacked inside the home, she stumbled outside and collapsed in the yard.
stabbed to death sometime after she got home from a wedding after midnight, described as her normal, pleasant self when she left.
We have a number of people that give us interest. We are just short of calling one of the people a suspect.
I think everyone was just stunned and in shock.
How could a leader of a Detroit synagogue with seemingly no enemies die like this? Friend Rabbi Asher Lopatin says she made her mark in the Jewish community and still had a lot more to give.
I'm going to miss most that when she comes into a room, she brightens up the room. When she comes in, it's an energy, it's a positive, loving energy.
State and federal law enforcement resources working up forensics on the crime scene and the route she took home to see if anyone followed her. Detroit police say there are very intricate details about this case only the killer knows. An arrest will bring some relief to so many shook by this case.
When the perpetrator is found, that will be a big relief to the Jewish community and I think general to Detroit.
Again, Chief White wants to stress there is no evidence at this point to suggest this was a hate crime. Reporting downtown Detroit, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
All right, let's move on to the next story.
Suspect in custody. That suspect, we don't know male or female, but we do know they were arrested in the Kalamazoo area. Now, the rest of this investigation, the details are being kept confidential, according to Detroit's police chief, James White. You said it. It's a high-profile case. They don't want to make any mistakes, and that is why they're keeping things pretty quiet.
We're not done, and I don't want to characterize this as a complete investigation. We've got a lot of work to do.
Local synagogue leader Samantha Wool's lifeless body found outside of her home in Detroit's Joliet townhomes on October 21st. A blood trail to her body from inside, where investigators believe she was attacked, stabbed multiple times.
Right now, there is one suspect in custody, and we're going to continue to work this investigation, and we're going to go where the evidence takes us.
The evidence so far has taken investigators to the Kalamazoo area, where they have arrested a suspect. Detroit Police Chief James White says the rest of those details remain confidential at this point in the investigation.
I can't get into that right now. We're just going to continue to follow the evidence and take it wherever, whatever city, whatever state it takes us to, we're going to continue to do that.
It was a welcome development. We still have many unanswered questions, and we're looking forward in the coming days, hopefully, in answering some of those questions.
Friend and colleague Sam Dubin says the Jewish community was already on edge with the war in Israel. Then the sudden death of Samantha. 2 days after her murder, Chief White said the killer was not motivated by anti-Semitism. That stance has not changed, adding that investigators were zeroing in on a suspect back then.
More than anything these past couple weeks, we've been celebrating Sam's legacy, her life, and really all of the positive attributes.
Samantha was the president of the downtown synagogue in Detroit, a former campaign manager for State Attorney General Dana Nessel, and volunteered her time to a variety of causes in the Jewish community.
She truly leaves a void that truly cannot be filled, but a legacy that will never be forgotten.
Keying in on what the chief said, that there is one suspect in custody for now, leading some to believe that possibly more arrests are on the way. They're going to follow that investigation and keep it confidential along the way. Just to underscore what the chief had said earlier, 2 days after they found Samantha's body, that this is not a hate crime and it was not motivated by anti-Semitism. That still stands tonight. Reporting live, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
And Jessica, you said that suspect was arrested in Kalamazoo. Do we know, did she have ties to the west side of the state? Or is this maybe potentially somebody that, who knows, that she possibly met later and along the way?
So many questions, Taryn. I did speak, as we saw earlier, with the chief. He did thank Michigan State Police specifically and the federal partners. They are all part of a homicide task force. But interesting that he specifically thanked Michigan State Police. So possibly some help from those guys on the west side of the state. But many questions remain, and we'll stay with it.
These are
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. What I said was we're going to reveal the super gremlin of the hour, and break down his charges. So buckle up, guys.
Say they have another person of interest in custody
Go.
for the murder of Detroit synagogue leader Samantha Wool. But will charges be filed this time around? CBS Detroit's Andres Gutierrez is outside Detroit Public Safety headquarters with what we know so far and reaction from Wool's friend on this latest arrest.
Detroit police made that announcement in a brief statement late Sunday night. With this latest person taken in for questioning, it's raising more questions among those who knew Samantha Wool. But they believe it opens a new door for justice.
We're hopeful that the result of this arrest is different than the last arrest.
It's the latest twist in trying to solve the killing of 40-year-old Samantha Wool. On October 21st, Detroit police discovered the president of the Isaac Agri downtown synagogue stabbed outside her Lafayette Park home.
You know, we're still waiting on what the motive was. We were told what it might not be initially, and that was it didn't look to be anti-Semitism. Perhaps it is, perhaps it is not.
3 weeks after Wool's brutal murder, it seemed like there was a break in the case, with detectives questioning a man they had arrested in Kalamazoo. But that person of interest, described as an acquaintance of Wool, was released after 72 hours without charges. The second suspect, according to the Detroit News, citing anonymous sources, is a man who appears to be a random stranger.
No arrest can bring Sam back, and no arrest can solve the hatred of the way that Sam was murdered. Nothing can remedy that.
And here's the thing, man. I know everybody wants to paint an agenda onto this one. Nope. It's not some radical Muslim who wants to, eradicate Jews or anything like that. No, it's just a super gremlin who came across what he believed to be, an easy body.
But yes, we are hoping eventually that there will be closure, that they will find the right person.
And at this time, police still don't believe Wool's death was a hate crime. In downtown Detroit, Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Detroit.
Sheesh. I mean, it seems like these guys want it to be a hate crime so much they damn mentioning this shit. But let's get into the man who was charged with this crime. And we're going to break down everything that we know about this super gremlin on Demon Time. So let me share my screen. Oof. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure y'all hit that Cash App. Make sure y'all hit that PayPal. Show some love. Your boy is demonetized, shadow banned. So anything helps for real, because it is tough out here in these YouTube streets. This is just a reality, guys. I mean, a lot of people want to make it seem like, oh, it's a hate crime against you. No, it's just a super gremlin who found an easy way to kill somebody. It was late at night. He saw the opportunity, took it.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Breaking right now, Wayne County prosecutor Kim Worthy announces charges against a 28-year-old man in the murder of local Jewish leader Samantha Wool. That announcement coming less than 15 minutes ago, wrapping up a 53-day investigation into her murder.
The accused in this case is Michael Manuel Jackson Bolanos. Let's get to Sean Lay, live
Oh, shit.
of Justice with these new developments. Sean.
Michael Manuel Jackson Bolanos. This is a burrito gremlin. Okay, a sunny burrito gremlin, it sounds like. I mean, this is ridiculous, unexpected even.
Just able to ask Prosecutor Worthy and Chief White some questions about this. Bolanos is 28 years old. We have his address. He's from Detroit. Here's how this whole thing breaks down. Number one, no relation at all to Samantha Wool. The two have never been.
No relation. This is how hungry these gremlins are to catch a body. These super sun burrito gremlins are on Demon Time.
Met. In until he allegedly broke into her unit here at Lafayette Place and startled her in some degree and assaulted her.
Damn.
Which ended up being a deadly assault with a sharp object, logically a knife in this case. Here's how all this is fitting together. No hate crime whatsoever, according to investigators. There's been a lot of pressure on police to bring forward what they had on this case to put to bed any situation that would have been a hate crime because of Ms. Wall's position as a prominent Jewish leader in our community. Here's the deal. A couple of Detroit police officers, they were investigating theft from autos. You call them larcenies, opening up car doors right in Samantha Wall's own neighborhood. They're taking things. Well, police catch up with him, maybe have some video of him doing this and then possibly getting close to Samantha Wall's unit. Bottom line here, he was charged with lying to officers about those car break-ins. That put him smack dab on the radar of investigators. Now, he asked Prosecutor Worthy to describe for us the exact situation here of Wall going in and this guy, Balonis, allegedly going into Wall's place, how this all breaks down.
Yeah, so guys, notice we still don't have a mugshot after all that rambling and all that shit he was doing. All that shit he's talking, no mugshot. I mean, it's crazy that they wouldn't want to notify the public that a dangerous man has been apprehended and plaster his face everywhere. It seems like they're keeping it low key. This story also didn't get much shine, national shine, that is. And I wonder why. It doesn't fit the narratives, guys.
Again, this is that after being informed by Patrick Lane and or Stephen Ford of the Detroit Police Department that the officer was conducting a criminal investigation, that this defendant did knowingly and willfully make a statement or statements to the officers that he knew was false and misleading regarding the following material facts relating to the investigation. And here's what you want to know: that he committed larcenies and or attempted larcenies from motor vehicles on October the 21st of 2023.
Back here live. Fascinating how all this is linked together with a person allegedly going through cars, apparently after midnight when Samantha Wall got back from that wedding she was attending, and somehow getting in, we're told breaking in to her unit on Lafayette Place. And you can see, you can kind of envision the situation of he being surprised by Samantha Wall, and then why there was a fatal assault. That's still unclear. We'll have to learn more about that in court. Charges, guys: homicide, felony murder, larceny. That's the larceny from the cars. Home invasion. That's breaking into Samantha Wall's home, breaking and entering, and assaulting Wall, resulting in her tragic death. Guys, no relationship to Samantha Wall at all. That is the situation. We're going to continue to look into this and who Balonis is. And very interesting police work here, investigating theft from autos leading to a major break in a homicide, guys.
Right, exactly right.
Guys, understand that there is no relationship. Somebody in the comments say, oh, it was a Muslim guy and he wanted to. No. Man, when are y'all going to understand that these super gremlins are on demon time? I've been saying this for years and years, and y'all still don't get it. Like, y'all want it to be everything else but what it is. I don't understand this, man. I don't understand this, okay? It's just wild, bruh. It's just wild that people just aren't putting two and two together. We have a major problem in the community. A major one. A huge one. A giant fucking issue.
Those who live in Detroit's Lafayette Park neighborhood are at ease tonight, knowing that the man suspected of killing Detroit synagogue leader Samantha Wall is in jail. But there's still questions about that person being held responsible. Our Andres Gutierrez is on Joliet Place with how the investigation unfolded, leading to the arrest of the suspect, who was a complete stranger to Wall.
Mary Van Dyke kept her head on a swivel for 53 days as Detroit police sought Samantha Wall's killer.
Me and another neighbor on the end, we were very cautious. You know, I let my dog out. I wouldn't let her out after dark too much, or if I did, literally right here in front of my door and run back in. Because we didn't know.
Until Wall's murder, the only thing neighbors worried about was the occasional car break-in. which put Michael Jackson Bolanos, a two-time
So Michael Jackson Bolanos, I guarantee he doesn't speak Spanish. I guarantee he does not speak Spanish. Okay, just from the look, right? According to the name, he's Afro-Latina, but I'm pretty sure he just identifies as black. I'm just guessing, but you know, just from the look that he's given, you know, the way he's rocking it, I'm gonna go out on a limb.
convict on police's radar. A 28-year-old who was sentenced in 2014 and 2019 for stolen property, receiving, concealing a motor vehicle.
So you guys see this stolen property, concealing motor vehicle. I mean, this guy is an obvious repeat offender, and he wasn't stopped. And then he escalated to murder. It's pretty common in the community. Pretty common. All right. As you guys can see, racial identification. He's black. So I know how bad we wanted to give this to the Hispanic community. I know how bad we wanted to give this to the Hispanic community, but we're going to have to take this one too, man.
Was being investigated by police for larcenies in the area of Wool's home, but was released pending further investigation.
They're trying to build their case a little bit more, see if he'd make a false statement, if he put himself somewhere else that would lead him to believe, okay, we got him. And I don't know this but people do watch TV. They got blood from his jacket. The question is, did they get it when they locked him up on Sunday, or did they get that a couple of weeks ago and they charged him with a felony, and they were able to get the DNA and match it to Miss Wall's blood? Which, if they did that, that's extraordinary police work. It really is good.
Former Assistant Police Chief Steve Dolan told CBS News Detroit this is what likely happened between the time police first talked to Jackson Bolanos and his arrest on Sunday.
So there's probably a combination of physical surveillance and technical surveillance to ensure that he didn't commit any more crimes in that area and that no one else in that Lafayette Park community was in any danger.
Van Dyke says she's now seen the murder suspect's mugshot, but doesn't recognize him.
There's so much traffic up and down Lafayette. I'm assuming he walked through here, and he probably has walked through here before. You know, just we see everybody. We don't think anybody is suspicious.
In Detroit, Andres Gutierrez, CBS.
And that's your damn problem. That's your damn problem. We don't think anybody is suspicious. You might need to start thinking these niggas are suspicious. You see these people who, as you guys can see, like they're not right. They keep committing crimes. They're not learning their lesson. And you see somebody you don't notice or don't recognize, maybe you do need to get suspicious. All this, oh well, we're not going to profile him because, look, man, if he's sticking out like a sore thumb, you might want to say something because you might save somebody's life. But a lot of these sisters are just trying not to. I'm not trying. Even if they see one of these ninjas stealing from somebody's car, as long as it ain't their car, a lot of them ain't gonna say shit. Okay, a lot of them ain't gonna say shit, man.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Breaking news here at 6. We're getting a look at the man charged with the murder of Detroit Jewish synagogue leader Samantha Wall. It tops our news on Local 4 News at 6. I'm Devin Skillion.
I'm Kimberly Gill. Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy announced the charges during a press conference this afternoon. Our Jacqueline Francis was there. She joins us live with what we're learning about this man in police custody. Jacqueline.
Well, first, I want to say I just spoke with one of Sam's colleagues in the local Jewish community, and he tells me, well, they are relieved to learn this was not a hate crime. They're devastated to think someone could do such a thing. Police say this all started with a home invasion right here.
And I just don't understand. How do y'all not get it yet? I've been speaking on this for so long, and I know that, I mean, I guess I am in an echo chamber, right? Because my message can't get to the masses because of the social media oligarchs and gatekeepers who will not allow this type of message and warning to American citizens to get out. But you guys need to wake up. The common man, the common woman needs to wake up, because you're just sitting ducks, man. I don't know how any other way to say it, any other way to spell it out. You're a sitting duck if you don't know about this issue, that these super gremlins are on demon time.
In this Lafayette Park neighborhood where Sam lived. Officials telling us that the suspect, 28-year-old Michael Bolanos of Detroit, broke into her home and assaulted her, ultimately stabbing her to death. Despite the victim being a prominent member of the local Jewish community, officials say this was not a hate crime and that the two did not know one another. A few weeks ago, police began looking into Bolanos as a suspect after he was caught breaking into a car in the area. There's a lot police cannot say at this time. The chief even calling this one of the most complex cases he's been a part of. The prosecutor was also there for today's announcement. Here's what she had to say.
This is something that's been ongoing since October the 21st. I've been at this for a long time. Investigations don't usually happen in the 44-minute legal procedural type TV shows. They take time, they take attention, they take energy, they take passion, they take experience. We look at every angle, not we, the police look at every angle.
Okay, stop trying to make it about yourself and get to a fucking point.
Whether it's forensic evidence, other investigative tools that they use. It was painstaking cell phone work, all kinds of things that took a very long time in this case. There was an incredible amount of work that was done in the investigation phase of this case. It was not easy, but again, there was a lot to look at, and we want to make sure that we look at every single angle before we charge a defendant with a crime like this.
We will have more on that conversation from her colleague that we spoke with, along with more from that news conference coming up at 11. Reporting live in Lafayette Park, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Okay, Jacqueline, we look forward to your report then. Thank you so much.
Woo, man. Things are heating up in the community. No cap.
Our other top story tonight, new information into the murder of Samantha Wool.
Police believe she was the target of a home invasion, and a suspect now stands charged with her murder, as we reported yesterday. We spent the day on the ground in her neighborhood talking with people about security concerns that they had before this happened. Sean lay live tonight with what he found out. Sean?
Well, it's all about the security concerns of people coming to this area. This is where Samantha Wool lives, and going through vehicle after vehicle looking for things to steal. That's exactly what investigators say the suspect or defendant in this case was doing, and then allegedly broke into Samantha Wool's home. One neighbor here has been tracking so many people coming here almost every night to go through cars. He says and predicted something tragic was going to happen as a result of it.
So the theft from vehicles stands out to you because you see them all
Correct.
the time. How often?
Probably about once a week.
This man has lived at Lafayette Park for 20 years. October 21st, the morning Samantha Wool was found stabbed to death next door here at Lafayette Place. He says his own security camera system had example after example of who could be the likely killer. He did not think it was a hate crime. He did not think it was someone close to Wool. He says people coming into the area to steal from cars so often, it would lead to something far more serious.
It had to be a wanderer. Somebody probably was breaking in cars, and it's just a matter of time before they run into a resident, and anything can happen from that moment.
Michael Bolanos now charged with Wool's murder, putting himself on investigators' radar by going through cars here the very day Wool was killed. No one answering at Bolanos' last address in Detroit. Steve Dolan spent years in the Detroit Police Homicide Unit. He describes investigators linking the thefts from vehicles then to Wool's murder this way.
Totally stunned, because I really believe, based on my prior experience, that this was a crime of passion or of just anger. The detective work was amazing. To me, it's like something out of a freaking TV show. It's amazing, because everyone assumed it was a hate crime. Myself included, it was a crime of passion. The part that I have really trouble with is, why didn't this guy just leave? Why didn't he run away? Why would you stab this person repeatedly?
I can answer that. The super gremlins in the community have a yearning to catch a body. Facts. It's like gaining prestige. It's like earning VC in 2K. It's like leveling up on a video game. Catching a body is pretty much one of the, it's going to sound fucked up when I say it, but in the community, it's a backwards mindset. It's one of the greatest things that you could do to show that you are a man. Okay? Catching a body is walking into your manhood. Being willing and able to kill another human being is something that is glorified in the Black community, period. There's no arguing with that at all. At all. There's no counter argument. If you have one, you can try and present it, and I will prove you wrong.
All right, back here live. So the man who is tracking these break-ins, all that video and pictures he has, he's turned them over to the DPD over the last few months, he says, and also spread the word and the videos around the neighborhood to say people need to be aware of the people coming in here because it could lead to a home invasion and something more serious like we just saw. Otherwise, we've been monitoring, Devin and Kimberly, the arraignment that happened yesterday. Prosecutors say blood found on the defendant's coat. The blood, they say, belongs to Samantha Wool. We're live tonight. Sean Light, Local 4, back to you.
All right, Sean.
Damn, sorry. I was muted. All right. So my point is that we're in a very bad situation in the community. And this next video that I'm going to show you guys, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough because we've dug a very deep grave for ourselves. It's pretty rough to come back from this. So, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and show the video. The way that we are presenting ourselves in the media as a communitize, it's not good at all. Hold on. Let me see. Let me share the actual video here for you guys. Hold up. Yeah, there it is. All right. So as you guys can see, watching this video, extremely disturbing. Wow. Extremely disturbing. And I want you guys to notice the laugh in the background. Obviously, what you're viewing here is child abuse. You have a black man passing illegal drugs, what I presume to be marijuana. It even could be a bunk blunt. I repeat, a bunk blunt, and a bunk blunt is just a marijuana blunt laced with cocaine. This is obviously child abuse, but guess who's filming? You know, listen. All right, so you heard that little laugh. Now, a lot of people, they won't, you know, they'll say, oh, well, you're reaching. How do you know? What do you do? That laugh is a black woman's laugh. So you have a black man and a black woman contributing to, you know, child abuse in the black community. And they're ruining this baby's life before it can even begin. And that laugh was indeed a black woman. You know, a lot of people, oh, how do you know? Bruh. It's literally obvious, but this is something that we kind of understand and are able to recognize the tone, inflections in the voice and whatnot. So she is co-signing this, is my point. I mean, this is really what is going on in the community. And we talk about, why are these people like this? Is it genetic? I genuinely don't think that it is genetic. Now, obviously, there is a genetic component to it. But when you are getting a baby high, an infant high, what the hell do you expect? Right? What do you expect? You know, this is one of the most disturbing videos I've seen. You know, and I've seen a lot of gruesome videos, but endangering a child like this, exposing this young child to drugs, this child can never come back from that. And these parents deserve death, in my opinion. You messing with kids, man. You messing with kids. They deserve the death penalty. That's why I'll continue to advocate for the death penalty. I think it's needed. I think it's necessary. I think it instills some type of fear of God or death or whatever into people to deter them from doing things. I think that execution should be made public to all the American people to set examples. Okay. But this is what we have going on in the community. It's not just drugs, it's also alcohol. Now, could I hone down on a percentage of how much of the community is doing this? I don't know. But it's got to be a good enough percentage to reflect the crime rates, right? Because I think a lot of the reason why we do have such high crime is because of overexposure and premature exposure to drugs and alcohol. So this is a fundamental issue in the black community. I've only seen niggas do this type of shit. Now, obviously, we hear the stories. Oh, baby gets, touches fentanyl and all this kind of stuff. But this is next level right here. Filming it is next level. And, the embarrassment continues. Okay. If you thought that was bad, if you thought that was hard to watch, this one is, it's pretty cringe. I'm not going to say it's worse than that last clip, but this one is hella cringe. And it's embarrassing. It should be embarrassing to all black men. Should be embarrassing to black women as well. Should be embarrassing to the parents of this super gremlin. But as you guys can see, he's in the airport. And instead of having his headphones in, listening to his music, minding his business, and waiting for his flight like everybody else, he believes that he is the star of the show. He believes that he is the main character in life. and he proceeds to perform a concert with a loud Bluetooth speaker in the airport, disturbing the peace of everyone around him.
Talking on my back, never leave the strap. Let this nigga in the hood. Broke bitch want me to save her. Fuck no mommy, you better off saving yourself. I was just stuck in the hood and breaking the crib.
Okay, so you heard what his lyrics, okay, for one. They are derogatory, they're vulgar. You know, listen to whatever you want. Just don't expose other people and their children to that. But he has no type of consideration or courtesy. So listen to the lyrics.
Talking on my back, never leave the strap. Let this nigga in the hood.
Target on my back, never leave the strap. Something nigga in the hood.
Bitch want me to save her. Fuck no mommy, you better off saving yourself.
Your bitch wants me to save her. Fuck no mommy, you better off saving yourself.
I was just stuck in the hood and breaking the crib. Fans,
I was just stuck in the hood, breaking in cribs. Feds. Here's the thing. If I'm not mistaken, he's damn near committing a federal crime right now, doing all this extra shit in the airport. I mean, we are performing minstrel shows every single day in real life. And, you know, the worst part about it is we are the director. We're the writer. We are 100% in control of our actions. And this is what we choose to do. It's something about airports that really brings the nigga shit out of these super gremlins on demon time.
I got the whole city lit. Niggas know I'm the next one to get rich. Niggas know I'm the next one to get rich. This bitch thought I was falling in love. Ha ha ha, I'm leaving you. Get out of your feelings, let's get it together. As soon as you get it, we taking a trip. I think I'm jealous. Soon as she like another nigga, bitch, I'm ready to dip. Get in the stomach. Still kind of mad, but I gotta be honest with you on the trip. Somebody saved me.
And I know everybody who's black on the stream, I know your grandparents have said before, and there was a debate on Instagram and Twitter a while back on this, but I know your grandparents have said, stop embarrassing us in front of these white folks. Period. I know your grandparents have said this before. And that's what I'm going to say to this super gremlin here. Stop embarrassing us in front of white folks. You are proving the point. Okay? And we give these people too much ammo against us. Like I said, group accountability. I'm willing to take accountability for this super gremlin. I am. Okay? This is hip hop culture. If you've involved yourself in hip hop culture in any way, shape, form, or fashion, you've contributed to this disturbance at this airport, period. It's called group accountability. And for the other black people who see this young man and are standing to the side and saying, oh, yeah, you know, let him get his shit off. Let him cook. You're a disgrace. If I was there, I would have said, hey, bruh, you really want to do this right now? You really want to embarrass us right now? And I try to do the Hotep shit. Brother, man. You know, bruh, man, we don't need to be acting like this. I try. But I know it's not going to work. He's going to want to kill me, period. He's going to want to kill me. He's going to want to kill me. Listen to the threats that he gives to the people who try and get this man to see some reason and understand that he's disturbing the peace.
I'm going crazy. Pop me a Percocet 30. I need a Lambo.
You heard him. I'm going crazy. Pop me a Percocet 30. It always comes back to the drugs, man.
I'm going crazy. Pop me a Percocet 30. I need a Lambo. I need a Rari. I need a Bentley. I need a money. Run that shit up. Just don't run up. Nigga run up, I'ma just leave him. I always creep through the night with a gun, ready to come, even though it's illegal. My life for yours, my life for yours, my life for yours, my life for yours. Niggas be hating, but when
My life for yours. Wow. And I'm sure somebody would definitely trade their life for his if they could get him to shut the fuck up.
you had, I was sleeping on floors, holding the wall, holding my gun, ready to score. Your mask on. What?
So you have this this white man who yells, "Put your mask on," and he's a lot bigger than this kid right here. And the kid, he just doesn't get it. He just doesn't get it. Watch.
Put your mask on. What? Put your mask on. Don't tell me like that, nigga. I'll tell you like that. I know, nigga. These niggas.
Woo! You heard him. He said, "Hey, don't talk to me like that, nigga." And then he said, "I'll talk to your ass like that. I ain't no nigger." He said, you heard him?
I'll tell you like that. I know, nigga.
Woo! Damn. Like I said, you're giving them ammunition. And people are told that they can't say anything about this because, oh, it's just their culture. He said, "Don't talk to me like that, nigga." What have I told y'all about saying the N-word to white people? It's never going to end well for you, bro. It isn't. So he says, "Don't talk to me like that, nigga." I still, for the life of me, can't understand why black people are calling white people the N-word and then also calling black people the N-word, but that's neither here nor there. But you calling him the N-word gives him license to say it back. And that's what I'm talking about. You give him ammunition, not only with your behavior, but with the way that you communicate with other people. This is an L for the black race, period. The fact that we are condoning this, the fact that we are allowing this, the fact that no brother, no sister came up to him and said, "Hey, young man, you got," and I'm not saying that he has talent, but at least say some hotep shit to get him to stop. "You got some talent, young brother. You don't need to be doing this. We can get you a show. We can get you this. We can get you that. Where are you flying out to? We're going to make sure that you booked up." Somebody get him to shut the fuck up. But you don't have any black people with courage to stop something that we created.
Don't tell me like that, nigga. I'll tell you like that. I know, nigga.
Woo!
Hey, put your mask on. Matter of fact, I got some for y'all hating ass niggas. I'm about to put my mask on, pussy.
So he said, "I got something for you hating ass niggas. I'm about to put my mask on, pussy." I guarantee he's about to put on a Pooh Shiesty. So you see this white guy, just out of respect, man, like they're trying to reason with him. There is no reasoning with these super gremlins.
What?
He said something about a popcorn fart. You could tell that's a country ass motherfucker. He couldn't wait to say the N-word too, and you gave him ample opportunity to. See, niggas just we set ourselves up to be ridiculed, and he doesn't even get it.
Hey, yo, fuck me.
So he said, fuck with me. He's beating his chest. Bro, you're not going to win this fight, dog. I'm telling you right now. This dude is a $110 soaking wet. He's willing to catch a damn near a terrorist charge for fighting in the airport over performing his weak ass rap song. God damn. We are just not doing well in life in 2023, bro. We're just failing at the simple things. Shout out to Romare Dubois with the 10 Cash App. He says for breaking it down to its essence.
Hold on. Hello? Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!
Get off the chairs. This isn't your house.
So you hear him, get off the chairs. This isn't your house.
Just another nigga from out of my city. I don't want to see you.
And you see the black man, he tries to tell him to get down. Then he says, fuck it. I already know how this ends. Even though I'm in the airport and I know everybody went through, TSA and security. Even though I'm in the airport, I know how this ends. This only ends with murder. Black man tried to calm him to, hey, bro, come on, get down, bro. All right, fuck it. That's how much patience the Malcolms, okay, the mildly attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable men, the black men who are doing right in the community, that's how much patience we have for hood niggas. We're done with y'all, bro. All right? We're turning our back on the hood niggas. This is why a lot of the upright black men are just leaving the community altogether. Because you can't talk no sense into these young niggas, and you definitely can't talk sense into these sisters.
Get off the chairs. This isn't your house.
So you see the black man, he's about to try and talk some sense into him, brother to brother.
Just another nigga from out of my city. I don't want to see you.
So you heard him. and the brother's trying to, come on, brother. Come on, brother. We both got, we both the same skin tone, brother. Come on. Y'all know how them Hotep niggas be doing. They be the main ones online talking about help your brother. And then you try to help these niggas. And look what happens. He said, something about my city and I'm most hated and da-da-da-da-da. And then the brother just said, you know what? Fuck it.
I'm just trying to beg. These niggas know I'm a blow up as soon as I got it. I'm rich. I got a back for the money while you in your back by the bitch. I got a back for the money while you in your back by the bitch. Niggas ain't getting no money like me. Record it, baby.
No way. He said, record this, baby. He must have a girl. Oh, my God. And then black women got the nerve to get on my channel and talk about, you a bum. Bruh. Y'all are literally supporting SoundCloud rappers who are doing concerts in the airport. Unsolicited concerts. Unbooked concerts. It's insane.
Don't worry about me. Get off your ass and get money. I see my feelings away in the trash. I don't get you fuck on my cousin. I get the block right under the seat. The police behind me. I'm going to
it's unfortunate, but it's a law enforcement. I'm an officer, retired officer. When this stuff happens,
So you hear the brother who's speaking, and this is a black man. He said it's unfortunate, and I'm a retired law enforcement. Listen.
It's unfortunate, but it's a law enforcement. I'm an officer, retired officer. When this stuff happens,
When this stuff happens, and then he gets cut off. So you see, it was a black man who was filming that angle at least. And he already knew what the deal was. When this stuff happens, he probably was just going to say, you just walk away. That's all you can do. And you wonder why we're not returning to the community. You wonder why black men don't feel the urge to give back and all this kind of stuff. This is why it don't matter what you give these ninjas. They're just going to abuse the power. They're going to abuse the situation. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous the way that we are acting in public. And I say we, not saying that it is me, but like I said, I support group accountability. This is a we issue. Even though I didn't do this, I feel responsible. And that's how every black man should feel at this point. We have to start practicing group accountability if we want to move forward, if we want to overcome this issue going on in the community. Okay. because man, you guys really think that this issue is going to go away, and it's not. It is not. So I actually want to get into another story coming out of Texas about an undocumented burrito gremlin coming over the border and killing one of our distinguished citizens, students, cheerleaders, women of America. So let's get into it.
This morning, a suspect is under arrest in the
And yeah, the audio is fucked up. It's not on my end. It's on their end.
slaying of Texas high school cheerleader Lisbeth Medina.
16-year-old female not conscious. Mother is the caller stating she is not conscious.
The suspect, identified as Rafael Govea Romero, who police say is undocumented, was arrested Saturday in Schulenburg, Texas, 75 miles north of Edna. Romero charged with capital murder in the killing of the 16-year-old, according to police. Before Romero's arrest, Edna police on Saturday released photos of a person wearing a black hooded sweatshirt and vehicle of interest in connection with the case. Police have not said if there was any previous relationship between Medina and Romero or if the attack was a random incident.
My daughter was found in a way that no mother should ever find their child.
Damn.
Someone hurt my child. Someone took my child from me.
Police say Lisbeth's mother, Jacqueline Medina, went to watch her and her cheerleading squad in a Christmas parade. But when the teen never showed up, her mother said she went searching for her and ultimately found her unresponsive in a bathtub at their apartment. Family members and friends mourning the loss, holding vigils over the weekend. Jacqueline.
And this is what you get after open borders. And a lot of Hispanics actually support open borders, but the reality is it hurts you guys too, because it fucks up your face card for one. And then it also can trickle down to violence directly affecting you and your family. So I know a lot of people who support open borders just because I want my grandma to be able to come, and I want my mama to be able to come over, and I want this person and that person to come over. But if you are thinking selfishly, then you're going to get selfish results. And I'm not saying that this family supported open borders, which, let's keep it a buck, most likely they did. But, if you're thinking selfishly, you're going to get selfish results, and you're going to face the ramifications of your selfish thinking. So if you think that, me supporting open borders doesn't hurt anybody and it actually benefits me, but there's no ramifications to other people, then you're highly mistaken.
Medina says she and her family moved to Edna last year. Her daughter honored before her school's football game Thursday night, where the distraught cheerleading squad and her family wore purple, the teen's favorite color. Her mother devastated.
She was my motivation to keep pushing and striving in this world.
Woo! So that's deep right there. They got a lot on this one. So we're just going to dive deeper, see the relationship, try and get an understanding of what made this burrito gremlin do what he did, okay? What motivated him to do this? What inspired him to do this? Why did he just randomly kill this young girl? Was there a prior relationship? Okay, all these questions we will attempt to answer right here on BGZM News 17. Guys, make sure you hit the Cash App. Make sure you hit that PayPal. Make sure you hit the GoFundMe. Make sure you support the channel. I am demonetized and shadow banned. So if you want this message to, get exposure, maybe help you and your family members, like, comment, share, support the channel financially. Whatever you can do helps.
Good afternoon. I'm Sherman Chow, and new at noon also, we are learning how
I ain't gonna lie, this old Asian chick, she can slick get it.
an Edna High School cheerleader was murdered in cold blood. We've been following this case for days now. Ugochi Iloka joins us from the Edna Police Department with more on the murder and how the suspected killer was captured.
Within the hour, the Edna police chief shared that 16-year-old Lisbeth Medina was stabbed to death in her own home. Right now, the man accused of her killing is in the Jackson County Jail, being held on a $2 million bond. Rafael Govea Romero is charged with murder in Medina's death. The Texas Rangers and Edna police arrested Romero Sunday morning in Schulenburg, which is about an hour away from Edna. Investigators identified Romero as a person of interest when he, along with his car, was spotted on surveillance camera near the crime scene. Edna PD says his car was tracked down at a residence where he was staying. Now, Medina's mom, Jacqueline, says she found her daughter dead in a bathtub inside their apartment last Tuesday. Today, the
Damn.
police chief says he, along with his officers, are processing Romero's car and the items inside of it connected to the 16-year-old's death. Reporting in Edna, Ugochi Iloka, KHOU 11 News.
Wow.
A Texas town between Houston and Victoria preparing to honor a high school cheerleader found killed in her own home. Ugochi Iloka shares how the community is paying tribute to her.
This evening, the Edna football team is playing in Cyprus, and students will honor 16-year-old Lisbeth Medina by wearing purple shirts and ribbons. Then this Saturday, a vigil for her will be held at Edna Cowboys Stadium at 6 p.m. Lisbeth was set to perform in the Christmas parade with the cheer squad, but never made it. Her mother, Jacqueline Medina, says she found her daughter's body Tuesday in her apartment. The family had only been living in Edna for a year before she was killed.
The most horrible way a mother could find her child. She was murdered in cold blood. Someone dared to go in and just rip my daughter away from me. It just kills me.
Jacqueline tells us she feels heartbroken and lost without her best friend. Her daughter, Lisbeth, was her only child, and she has so many questions surrounding her death.
I just want answers to why they would do this to an amazing little girl who never hurt anyone, who wouldn't dare to hurt anyone. I lost it. She was my world, my everything. Everything I do was for her.
Lisbeth's mother, who you just heard from there, who's...
And this is the result of open borders, sadly. And, you know, she could have potentially been dealing with this guy. And a lot of times the mothers overlook the boyfriends. Oh, you've got the boyfriend? Oh, how cute. That's awesome. Make sure he do this and make sure he do that. And, you know, you just end up on the wrong side of the domestic violence situation, which we know domestic violence is a huge issue, especially in the Black and brown community, particularly in the Black community in America. But when you're getting these guys from overseas, or not overseas, but over the border, these guys, I ain't gonna lie, their crime against women is like 10 times more than that in the States. So these guys, they really don't, they're really not bothered when it comes to putting in work on women. They really aren't. They come with that cartel mentality. I'm trying to tell you, they come with that cartel mentality, and they feel like they can kill shit. They can drill shit. They can, you know, take out anybody and not have to face the ramifications. And especially when it comes to women, as you guys know, you know, Mexico, their crimes against women are exorbitant, and they haven't really gotten a hold on that shit yet. So when these guys are coming over, and then y'all women are inviting them over, and y'all women are just like feeling like these guys are it, and these guys are cool to be around because they're coming straight from the motherland, you're gonna have to double think, triple think that, because like I said, or like Trump said, they're not sending their best.
Obviously still emotional, describes finding her daughter to a scene in a horror movie. Police, DPS, and Texas Rangers are all investigating the 16-year-old's death as a capital murder case, but have not released any more details. Ugochi Iloka, KHOU, 11 News.
So let's keep going. Let's see if we can get any details. They haven't really told us shit. They just told us who killed her, how she was killed. They really didn't tell us the motive.
Right now, the arrest of a suspect in the murder of a 16-year-old high school cheerleader who was found dead by her mother. Stephanie Ramos here with the latest. Good morning, Stephanie.
George, good morning. Such a tragic story. Really young girl. Family and friends of Lisbeth Medina are relieved police arrested a suspect in the case, but are, of course, still mourning the loss of the young teen.
This morning, a suspect is under arrest in the slaying of Texas high school cheerleader Lisbeth Medina.
16-year-old female not conscious. Mother is the caller stating she is not conscious.
The suspect, identified as Rafael Govea Romero, who police say is undocumented, was arrested Saturday in Schulenburg, Texas, 75 miles north of Edna. Romero charged with capital murder in the killing of the 16-year-old, according to police. Before Romero's arrest, Edna police on Saturday released photos of a person wearing a black hooded sweatshirt and vehicle of interest in connection with the case. Police have not said if there was any previous relationship between Medina and Romero or if the attack was a random incident.
My daughter was found in a way that no mother should ever find their child. Someone hurt my child. Someone took my child from me.
Police say Lisbeth's mother, Jacqueline Medina, went to watch her and her cheerleading squad in a Christmas parade. But when the teen never showed up, her mother said she went searching for her and ultimately found her unresponsive in a bathtub at their apartment. Family members and friends mourning the loss, holding vigils over the weekend. Jacqueline Medina says she and her family moved to Edna last year. Her daughter honored before her school's football game Thursday night, where the distraught cheerleading squad and her family wore purple, the teen's favorite color. Her mother devastated.
She was my motivation to keep pushing and striving in this world.
Police have released few details on the circumstances of Medina's death. An autopsy report has yet to be released, guys.
Just a heartbreaking story there, Stephanie. Thank you.
Well, hey there.
Damn. Woo, man. It's not looking good. All these leftist policies are coming to the forefront and are being challenged in real time. And I just wonder if they're going to wake up in time.
We begin with an arrest in the murder of a teenager in Edna. Hello again, everyone. I'm Tom Abrams. Thanks for being with us on this Sunday. Lisbeth Medina was found dead in her bathtub by her mother on Tuesday. ABC 13 reporter Daniela Hurtado joins us live now with the update today on this case. Daniela?
Tom, I got to speak to the family of Lisbeth Medina earlier today. Her aunt tells me they don't know the suspect, the man accused of killing this teenager.
So they're saying they don't know him, but did she know him?
So there's still a lot of questions on this tragic situation. I'm going to take you to a photo now that the police department has released to us. This is Rafael Govea Romero. The Edna Police Department confirmed he was arrested for capital murder in connection to Medina's death. Police say he's sitting at the Jackson County Jail after being arrested in the city of Schulenburg, about an hour north of Edna and nearly 2 hours west of Houston. At this point, police won't tell us his age, but say he's an adult and undocumented. Medina's mother posting on social media this morning, thanking law enforcement and saying, quote, "Mija, your voice was heard." We spoke to Medina's mother, Jacqueline, on Thursday about the tragedy, and here's what she told us then.
Jackie, who would do this to your daughter? I don't know. We had no enemies. We were new in the area. Nobody would, like I said, she was a sweet girl. She was loved by everybody.
Now, Medina's family again says they don't know this suspected killer, but they also tell us that they believe whoever must have done this must know the teenager because there was no sign of forced entry.
Yeah, and this could be a little boyfriend she was talking to on the side without the knowledge of her parents. And I mean, it's just a tragedy.
So many details as we're waiting for answers from the police department that have yet to be released. Police have not said if the victim and the suspect knew each other. We have yet to find out how this teenager died. Tomorrow, the police department is expected to give more information on what exactly happened to Lisbeth Medina. Reporting live, Daniela Hurtado, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Ouch. And I really do feel bad for the mother, but they dropped the ball on this one. I ain't gonna cap. They dropped the ball on this one. These burrito gremlins are on demon time. Y'all saying I'm muted? Am I muted or because I wasn't even talking? But can y'all hear? I know the audio from the news clip is kind of shitty, but can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? The video's muted? Or is it just really low? Yeah, the volume's really low. I'm sorry. Let me see. Yeah, the volume's low because this news channel sucks, but So ICE is involved in the investigation. Basically, the family saying they don't know anything about him. They don't know him. Just to recap.
Turn Texas in a small town shattered after mysterious murder of a 16-year-old girl. A cheerleader was found dead by her mother after she was missing from the town's Christmas parade. Stephanie Ramos here with the story. Good morning, Stephanie.
Hi there, George. Good morning. The mother of a 16-year-old high school cheerleader says she was the one who made the horrendous discovery of her daughter's murdered body in their apartment, and she's demanding answers.
This morning, it's a murder mystery that has a tight-knit Texas community on edge and searching for answers.
16-year-old female.
My thing is, how the hell do you not know your daughter is dating somebody when y'all are supposed to be so close and she's inviting people into your house and you find your daughter's body in your house? I mean, somebody had to know she was dating this guy or dealing with this guy or something.
Not conscious. Mother is the caller stating she is not conscious.
A manhunt is underway for a suspect authorities say killed 16-year-old high school cheerleader Lisbeth Medina in the small town of Edna outside of Houston.
My head is just spinning everywhere, and I just want answers. I want justice.
Her mother, Jacqueline, speaking to our station, KTRK, saying she made the gruesome discovery Tuesday evening inside their apartment when she says she didn't see Lisbeth performing in the Christmas parade.
Nobody ever wants to see their child in a bathtub the way I found her.
No arrests have been made. Authorities are referring to the case as capital murder.
She was a kind heart. She would help anybody, even if she had to take the shirt off her back.
Overnight, Edna High School's football team honoring their fallen classmate who used to cheer them on, all wearing purple. Lisbeth's family exhausting their efforts to find answers.
You took an angel from me, and not only from me, from a lot of people who love.
And I mean, if this guy was intimate with this woman, he could be facing more than just murder charges, because the age of consent in Texas is 17. And this guy was older. So, I mean, it's just not adding up that they don't know anything about him. And he just walked up in the crib and killed her randomly. I mean, I don't know.
And he will pay. He will pay.
The Texas Penal Code describes a capital murder as a murder committed in the course of another major crime and is punishable by the death penalty or life in prison. Guys, police are still actively searching for a suspect.
What a heartbreaking story there.
Absolutely. Steph Ramos, thank you.
All right, let's keep going, see if we can find some more information. Then we'll go to our finale story. And you know Biden's not going to deport him, so. It's a damn shame. But anyways, let's see. Do I have time for this? Let me see how I want to arrange this, because I want to get right into Atlanta, because we've been having some crazy things going on in Atlanta. So yeah, let's get on to Atlanta. I'll cover these other stories. It was just some video about how woke the schools and universities are, but I think you guys kind of get it. We're going straight to Sandy Springs, where the Super Gremlins are extremely active and more active than they used to be in this area. Sandy Springs used to be a nice, safe community. Okay, now it is rife with violence and illegal activity from majority Super Gremlins. So let's get into it.
Now, police are searching for the gunman who killed a man in Sandy Springs apartment complex. The shooting happened at the Azalea Park apartment community. That's on Cedar Run. News Chopper 2 first brought you this story as breaking news on Channel 2 Action News at 5. Channel 2's Carl Willis
joins us live in Sandy Springs, and Carl police have identified the victim.
They say he was 22 years old and from Alpharetta and was found on the sidewalk just in front of that building there where multiple gunshots were fired. Now, one neighbor says her baby was so close that he was jolted awake by the gunfire. Police say 22-year-old Ricardo Hernandez Oval was the man found shot to death at the Sandy Springs apartment complex Thursday afternoon, just a few steps from Alondra Alcatter's apartment.
So I was like in a hurry to grab my son. His crib is like right next to the window.
She tells me she was laying down when she heard the first gunshot.
And then I got up to check my son because he was sleeping and he jumped. And when I was grabbing him, I still heard like another 2 or 3 shots.
Then she ran and hid in her laundry room. Sandy Springs police say it was just after 4 o'clock when they arrived. Oval, an Alpharetta resident, was dead on the scene outside of Building 3 on Cedar Run.
We don't have any information that the victim had a weapon at this time. We do have information that there was at least one suspect that was firing at the victim.
One witness told me off camera that he saw the victim being chased. Philly-Ann Landry says her teenage boys heard the shots but had no idea what was happening.
I haven't had a real conversation with them just yet about what happened. That someone actually lost their life right here near where we live is scary.
A silver Infiniti remained taped off well after the scene was cleared before eventually being towed away. Detectives continue to search for leads.
They came a couple hours ago and just asked if I had seen anything. I hope they find whoever did this.
Woo! Now, police say they are working a few leads to identify the suspects. So far, they say they have not determined the motive behind this shooting. Reporting live in Sandy Springs, Carl Willis, Channel 2, Action News Nightbeat.
Now, I've told you how dangerous these apartment complexes, but guys, bear with me. But we are going to get into our final video. An Atlanta News First anchor was kidnapped for almost 90 minutes by a homeless black man. Many of these types of guys who ANF have repeatedly defended for heinous crimes, but now they are on the other end of this crime, and it doesn't feel so good. And I'm not saying that Atlanta News First isn't a reputable news source, but they do give some very woke takes a lot of times. And I think they omit certain details for brand purposes in a lot of these crimes that they report on, like, you know, the demographic of the assailant. So you see this very tumultuous and real issue, conflict in the black community actually hitting people that you least expected. So let's get into it.
And more breaking news we're following in our newsroom right now. The man accused of taking a crew from Atlanta News First against their will appeared before a judge just moments ago.
Clayton County police have charged this man, Brandon Logan, with 8 counts, including 4 felonies, among them assault, battery, and false imprisonment.
Okay, so you see he has a black female judge. I guarantee he's not gonna get the the punishment that he should. It's already over. The accountability has left the building, y'all.
A judge has just set his bond at $11,000.
That ain't shit. 11 thou wow. Man, oh man. All he has to put up is 1,100. He get one of his. He could honestly get his plug to, you know, he's on drugs. Get his plug to put up the money so that he don't lose a paying customer. And these are the Dusties and the Busties. See, they love to call guys like me Dusties, who are pointing out the hypocrisy and the dangers in the community. But then when you have black men who are kidnapping and assaulting black women, you have a black female judge who obviously set the bond extremely low. And, you know, he's been charged with 8 charges that are pretty much going to be, a lot of them are going to be thrown out once he pleads down. He might end up not doing much jail time at all, quite frankly. And these same black women would be like, oh, well, y'all are the Dusties, y'all are Crusties. Bruh, y'all are advocating for the Dusties. This guy is a Dusty. This guy is a Krusty. These are the guys that y'all advocate for. These are the guys that y'all are saying criminal justice reform and bail them out and no cash bail and defund the police and, you know, what is it? What do they say when they say, oh, we're not defunding the police, we're rearranging funds or whatever? These are the guys who are the Dusties, but these are the guys that y'all are defending.
Our reporter and photographer were preparing for a live report in the parking lot of the Clayton County Sheriff's Office last night. This was just before our 11 o'clock newscast. According to our crew, Logan approached them as they sat in their news vehicle, indicated he had a gun, and threatened to shoot them if they called for help.
Woo!
Eventually, they were able to communicate with our newsroom that they were in danger. We then alerted authorities repeatedly. About an hour and a half after Logan first made contact, police arrived and took him into custody. Our reporter and photographer, thankfully, are both okay. They were not hurt. The suspect is now due back in court January 24th.
So there you have it. This ninja done. He done held the whole crew hostage. And, you know, it's just another day in the community, y'all. And this crew is lucky that he didn't smoke them for real.
Man behind bars tonight, charged with taking an Atlanta News First crew hostage. Officials arresting Brandon Logan on charges including terroristic threats, false imprisonment, and public drunkenness. But as Adam Murphy tells us, there are real questions about how long it took officers to respond.
So out of all this, we just learned that the man only has to post $1,100 for bail. He holds Black women hostage, news anchors hostage, people who are reporting on these crimes, who presumably help keep us safe without giving you guys enough detail to keep you safe, right? That's why you got to come to my channel. But that's neither here nor there. And out of that, Atlanta News First got, oh, the police responded too slow. So they have no accountability to hold over the super gremlin who committed this horrible crime. But they have all the smoke for, oh, well, the police arrived too long. Well, the police arrived too long because 9 months ago, which y'all reported on, y'all were advocating for the defunding of the police. So yeah, they're going to pull up a little late because y'all made sure that they didn't have enough resources to do their fucking jobs.
What we know is our crew was held hostage for over an hour and a half, and we're still trying to piece together what happened and why it took so long for help to arrive. This is the man accused of holding an Atlanta News First reporter and photojournalist hostage Monday night for about an hour and a half. Photojournalist Lauren Swaim and reporter Asia Wilson were on assignment outside the Clayton County Courthouse when they say the suspect approached their vehicle, threatening to shoot them if they did anything to tip off police. They were able to discreetly send distressed text messages back to the TV station.
We lost complete contact with one of our crews.
Atlanta News First anchor Alan Devlin knew something was wrong when the newsroom was unable to make contact with the crew.
It's radio silence the entire time. It wasn't until about 10:44 we started getting messages from Asia to one of our digital producers that were terrifying, bone-chilling messages. It was just things like sporadic, not even complete sentences. We need help. We're scared. He's going to shoot.
Atlanta News First contacted the sheriff's office to check on the crew. When they did not respond back with confirmation that the two were okay, assignment editor Gary Stillwell called 911. An officer responded.
The cop called me back to inform me that my crew was safe. I made contact with your crew and they're safe. I spoke to a man and a woman. And I'm like, time out. It's a two female crew. There shouldn't be a man in the equation. And if you don't see two females, then I've lost a female. Please go back.
As precious time passed, 3 Atlanta News First employees decided to take action by driving to the courthouse, more than 20 minutes from the television station. On the way, they flagged down a police car. That officer raced to the scene where the crew was still with the suspect.
I think over the next few days, what we're really looking for is to figure out what took so long. You know, where was the breakdown? What caused this to last seemingly a whole lot longer than it needed to last?
Police arrested Brandon Logan. He faced a judge to hear the charges against him, including terroristic threats, false imprisonment, and simple battery. A magistrate court judge set his bond at $11,000.
The number one thing we want is our crews to come home safely. And in this situation, they did. It took too long. It was way too scary, but
It took too long. And look, all they have is smoke for the police response. That's why this happened to y'all. It's wild, bro.
Absolutely, at the end of the day, thankful that they got home safe.
There is still confusion about who should have responded and when. We reached out to the Clayton County Sheriff's Office and Police Department, Jonesboro Police, and the Atlanta Police Department for comment and have not received an official response from anyone.
Golly. Did y'all see how they covered that? Did y'all see how they covered that? Am I the only one who saw that? Yeah, I mean, the only thing that they could talk about that whole story was, oh, the police showed up too late. Pfft. Wow. That's deep, y'all. No accountability for the man who committed the crime. No smoke for him. No calling him a bum. No disrespecting him. And all they have to say is, which police precinct was supposed to respond and why didn't they come earlier? Tom, back to you. This is why you got to support channels like mine, because I'm not going to pull no punches. This nigga's a bum. Obviously, we saw his intentions. I think they should lock him up 15 years. That's my take. He's not going to get that. He probably won't get 15 minutes. He's probably out now. The black female judge gave him an $11,000 bond. And he literally kidnapped a black woman. And his bond is $11,000. And these are the same black women who say, oh, black women need protection. Y'all aren't even protecting each other. Because when you're in positions of power, you're not protecting the women who are victims. So this is why it's really hard to feel bad for us when we keep shooting ourselves in the foot. But anyways, that is going to conclude the stream. I appreciate everybody for joining the stream. You already know what it is. It's your boy, the Black Gen Z Mindset, a.k.a. BGZM News 17, a.k.a. Janquavius Jackson. And we are going to send it off to Janquavius Jackson to take us away. Just to make sure that you guys, if you feel so inclined, hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal, join the Patreon, hit the GoFundMe, hit the merch store, buy the merch, guys, cop the merch. That is the most mutually beneficial exchange that you could do besides liking and commenting, or sharing the video. But guys, I mean, support the channel. Hey, it's not much I can say. It's not much I can do. I'm stuck on YouTube, right? Like, I'm not going to grow anymore. But what you guys can do is support me and, you know, just give me the motivation to get my ass up here and look for these stories and dig into them and whatnot, right? Because it is tough. And, you know, just going through these stories. I mean, it's not tough as far as like, oh my God, it's so gruesome, it's so horrible. For me, it's not tough in that way. But it's just like, man, I know when I make a video that YouTube is going to keep it at 100 views for 6 days. So it's like, damn, I'm making a video for less than 1% of my subs. So that's very disheartening. And, you know, I just need to know that y'all are out here. I need to know that y'all are commenting, liking. I need to know y'all here. I need to know that y'all hear me. I need to know that y'all feel me. So just support the channel in any way that you can. But you already know what it is. It's your boy, Jenquavius Jackson, and we are going to send it off to Jenquavius to take us away. You know, I really appreciate all the support, all the contributions that have been made thus far. And, you know, be safe out there because these super gremlins are on demon time. What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jenquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Jenquavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pocket.
Y'all get me with this shit.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take over
What
your
more
store.
do you want from me?